Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our series of lessons on how to be happy in marriage, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And these are lessons that are guaranteed to work. If you will just simply follow these principles which I'm teaching, I guarantee you that you will be happy 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, this is going to be the third lesson in this series. I'd like for you to go back and go through the first lesson one more time, because everything is based on having faith in God. If you want to be happy, you have to have faith in God. Faith in the true God, our God named Jehovah, and in the New Testament called Jesus. Our God can bring happiness and will bring happiness to those that have faith in Him. And as I've already said before, if you're not happy, the reason is because you do not have faith in God like you should. If you will simply, truly have faith in God and believe what He says and conform to what He says, then you will have happiness in your life. So today we're going to talk about contentment. And let's get right into the lessons. It's going to be from 1 Timothy chapter 6, and we're going to look at verses 6 through 8. And here's what it says. Godliness with contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain that we can carry nothing out. And having food and raiment, let us be therewith content. So, such a simple statement made here by the Apostle Paul as he was inspired, as he was moved to the Holy Ghost to write these words. These are the very words of God spoken through the mouth of Paul. So let's look at this. It says, godliness with contentment is great gain. Now, contentment, that's when you're satisfied with what you have. And you're happy with it. You're happy with it, and you're not constantly wanting something else. So godliness with contentment is great gain. A person that's living in a situation of poverty in a country that, maybe has a certain form of economics that just doesn't work, and they can't get ahead in life. They can't get accumulation of wealth. Let me tell you, you can still be happy. I don't care where you are. I don't care what your financial situation is. You can be happy in your marriage. Now, not being happy with the things that you have, that is the cause of a lot of sorrow and just fights and all kinds of contention in marriage. One of the very greatest causes of divorces in marriage is simply money. And what the Bible is teaching us here is that happiness doesn't come from the things that you have. Let me give you some advice. You want to be happier if you have a whole lot of things. If you have so many things that it clutters up your house, you can't keep your house clean because you've got so many things that in order to clean one area, you got to move a bunch of stuff. You're constantly having to move that. You can't find a place for anything without moving something else. And so in such a situation as that, you're going to be a lot happier if you'll just get down to the things that you need. My advice is just have the things that you need. for the tools that you need to get your work done. Get the best tools, and save up and get your best tools. But for just things you don't really need, that's not necessary to get your work done, you'd be better off to have a garage sale or some kind of sale and get rid of a lot of stuff, and make it so that your house is easier to clean, and you just have the things you need. Don't go buying a bunch of stuff and get yourself in debt. That really causes trouble. You see, you need to make sure that you have enough money to buy the little things in life that you need day by day. If you need a toothpick and you can't afford to buy a toothpick, and you get some meat stuck in your teeth and you can't afford to buy a toothpick, you're going to not be very comfortable in your mouth, right? So it's so important to be contentment, to have contentment in your life. Godliness with contentment is great gain. It's something you can't really buy with money. You can't buy it with money. You buy it by having faith in God and trusting that God knows what he's saying. So it says here, for we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out. We're not going to be able to take all these worldly possessions to heaven. When we die, they're going to stay here on this earth. Some of them may become the possessions of other people, but what I've noticed, that when older people die, a lot of times their kids just take all their stuff and throw it in the trash. It's only valuable to that older couple, and shouldn't probably be so valuable to them. Now, he goes on, he says, and having food and raiment, let us be therewith content. If we have enough to eat and we have clothes, we should be content. Be happy. Don't constantly be wanting something besides what you have. Always be wanting, that's called materialism, by the way, in case you don't realize that. Don't constantly be wanting to buy something new that really you don't even need. A lot of people, they'll go really in debt on buying a house way outside of their income, and all it does is bring stress on their life, bring stress on their marriage. Or they'll buy a car that's a car way outside of what they need. They don't need that nice a car or so forth. They could be just as happy, it meant a lot happier in most cases. They just had a more basic car, or even like here where we are right now. I don't want a car because where we are right now, if there's a problem, if there's a wreck, I don't want to be responsible for that. Let the taxi driver be responsible, okay? He gets in a wreck, I get out and say, well, I give him his money for the ride to that point, and I say, well, Lord bless you, fella. And I get out of the taxi and I get another taxi, and I don't have to go to court, or I don't have to go through any problems, because it's not my responsibility. So having food and raiment, be content. Now I'm going to say more about this. Because this is a really huge, important subject. I want to stress, though, before I close, you're not going to be happy by accumulating things. That is not what brings happiness. What brings happiness is being godly, having faith in God and being used of God so that you see yourself winning other people to Christ. You see something being accomplished with your life. And I'll tell you, that's what brings happiness. You're not going to be happy just by buying a bunch of stuff. You get yourself in debt, and the bill collector's calling you up and hounding you and threatening you and so forth. No, godliness with contentment is great gain. Now, God bless you, until the next lesson.